The birth rate and the fertility stuff and everything, the reality is having a kid and having a family is actually just nowhere near as cool as people are trying to tell you that it is. And when women have the choice to do otherwise, and when men kind of have the choice to do otherwise, they just don't, because traveling or having more money for yourself or the lifestyle creep and enjoyment and the fun and everything of being childless and all of that is actually way, way, way more alluring than settling down and, you know, dedicating yourself to having kids. And this huge cope, this is the cope that they keep trying to tell women, like, oh, no, trust me, bro. Like, if you just go and have kids, it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so much fun. Like, oh my God, you're gonna love it. Oh my God, you're gonna love it so much. And it's like, probably not that much, actually. You have to find ways to make the whole child process, you have to find a way to make that way more alluring, I think. Or make it so that people can pursue careers and do the child thing at the same time, because I don't know, I just don't think this is, I don't think this is it.
Why is that? I'm just curious. Why would having children, which is just a natural biological conclusion, be something that sounds extreme?
I just said inherently.
Inherently.
That's the inherent expectation.
Yeah.
That's better for
It's inherent because it's biological. So I think when we think about things that are inherent, I think biology is a good thing to start with, right? So biologically speaking, men and women come together, they form families, and that's the reason why you're sitting here. That's the reason that I'm sitting here, is because biology is inherent.
Well,
so saying it's just natural order that we're speaking about, right?
Okay, let's break it down. So why do you believe that? Why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that?
Why do you inherently are happier? Yeah.
Okay, you keep stressing this word inherent. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think because it speaks to natural order, and every piece of life, I think, is enriched by
You
children.
don't think it's natural for women to get to decide what they want to do with their lives?
I do not think that saying women can decide whether or not they want to go to work or have children is problematic. What I'm saying to you is that women will get the most fulfillment from having a family.
Because it's natural.
It's natural, but also children are wonderful and beautiful and spiritually divine creatures. I mean, they're amazing. There's everything about having a child. Yes, it's a lot of work. It's beautiful.
I hear that. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, what if there's a little girl born and it's her dream her entire life to be an author or to be, you know, on TV or any of these things, and having children is very expensive. It takes a lot of time. So how is it better for that, like, and I understand this is hypothetical, but that hypothetical little girl to have children than to pursue these things that would make her happy as she gets older?
I just think that if she publishes the book and she has a child, she would agree with me that the child was more fulfilling and made her happy. That's what I'm happier than the book did, is what I'm saying. And I say that.
This is a kind of a mean personal attack. I don't know if it would be, but like, why not ask Candace, like, why do you still don't you have a full-time show, and don't you still tour and do all these things? Why don't you just spend all the time with your kids then?
As a published author of New York Times, I would choose my children over my best-selling book. And I was that little girl who had a dream that, like, oh, it would be really great if I could share my thoughts and ideas in a book. But it is utter insanity for me to reflect on that and say that I would have rather published Blackout than to have my 3 children.
But why is it rather? You see what I'm saying?
It's not rather. I'm just saying
Well, that's your claim. That's your claim, is that it's better.
It will be more fulfilled.
Right.
Yes.
So rather.
Well, if it's an either or, if you're saying it's an either or, I'm just saying that if these two things have happened in your life, the thing that will bring you more spiritual fulfillment will be children. And so women who are neglecting that, who are neglecting the pathway to, you know, strive toward family because they think their career is going to hug them at night, or they think that when they're on their deathbed, their career is going to come up next to them and say, you were so great to me. I think that they've stepped into a delusion, and I'm hopeful that they wake up from it before it's too late.
Like, you can do all of these very emotional appeals, but I hate it when people load things like this and they won't honestly contend with what it means to, you know, have had a fulfilling career. Like, yeah, is a career going to hug you at the end of the day? Maybe not, but I'm sure that you can be participating in some career where you feel like you have some huge level of accomplishment or fulfillment, or some huge project that you're proud of, or some contribution that you've made to your field that you're proud of. Like, will it hug you? I mean, I guess not, but I mean, it won't, like, get addicted to crack or steal from you and kill you. Like, there are bad things that kids can do as well, you know? Like, this is my hot take. And I don't know if we're ever having any good conversations about literally anything in society anymore, because everything is fucked. Thank you. The birth rate and the fertility stuff and everything, the reality is having a kid and having a family is actually just nowhere near as cool as people are trying to tell you that it is. And when women have the choice to do otherwise, and when men kind of have the choice to do otherwise, they just don't, because traveling or having more money for yourself or the lifestyle creep and enjoyment and the fun and everything of being childless and all of that is actually way, way, way more alluring than settling down and, you know, dedicating yourself to having kids. And this huge cope of, like, this is the support argument that I just made. Like, oh my God, bro, play support. Support's actually so much fun. Like, you can do so much as support, and it's actually so cool. This is the cope that they keep trying to tell me. Like, oh, no, trust me, bro. Like, if you just go and have kids, it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so much fun. Like, oh my God, you're gonna love it. Oh my God, you're gonna love it so much. And it's like, probably not that much, actually. And other women can work and have birth control, and they're making choices otherwise. You have to find ways to make the whole child process, you have to find a way to make that way more alluring, I think, or make it so that people can pursue careers and do the child thing at the same time, because I don't know, I just don't think this is it. But like, one of the big issues too, and I'm pretty sure this is still true as of right now, I don't think there has ever been a society ever in all of human history that has somehow reversed the fertility trend thing. So something like offering a few $1,000s doesn't help. Telling people, oh no, trust me, bro, like, having kids is a magical experience. You need to do this, doesn't seem to work. There has to be a different approach to this to make this.
A few moments later.
So when you're talking about the insurrection on January 6th,
No one cares, little bro. D-Man is wrong about this. Having kids is awesome when you actually like the person you have them with and you have them after you've sown your wild oats. It's also probably not for everyone. Having them with someone you are having physical fights with probably isn't very pleasant. Seeing my wife holding our kids is more fulfilling than anything I could imagine, but I totally get how someone who's forced into that position by a 19-year-old girl who's anti-abortion with hate. What the fuck? Based. Rip. Wait, oh shit, hold on. We might have a whole bait thread. When a crack shit I was forced into by an I don't think I was forced into anything, but okay. Well, damn, what an idiot. Okay. Oh, this guy's a troll, 100%. It was tagged as a shit post? Okay. I also hold our kids, lol. I'm actually the preferred parent of our 2-year-old, which is rare for men, and I love reading his bedtime story every night and all that fun dad stuff. It's just the image of seeing the woman I love holding the kids we made together. It makes my heart warm. Okay. Kind of a schizo post. I don't think Destiny ever said that having kids is not enjoyable. He was just saying that it's a difficult, brutal struggle for some people. Knowing Destiny, he would say that the struggle can be incredibly worthwhile. Wow, cool. Good job. He more or less said that when people talk about enjoying having kids, they're lying. Don't think I've ever said anything remotely similar to that in my entire life, but okay. Rips. See you later. Ripperino. What, like, in general, at any age, it doesn't sound right. I mean, I won't be having kids personally, but it seems like it's incredibly winning for parents. To be clear, he said that regretful parents are often silent, and they wouldn't tell you even if they were regretful. I don't think he said anything strong. I'm just saying it's hard to even be regretful. Like, how do you, I don't know, there's got to be a better explanation for it, but like you can do something that is a mistake, but like something is created as a result of that, and obviously you love and care for the thing. So if you could go back in time, like if you were to ask somebody who's 20 years old right now, do you want to have a child right now? And they're like, no, I think I'd rather wait 5 years. And then you say, too bad. And then you, and then they have a kid. And then you're like, do you regret having that child? It's like, well, fuck me. No, I have a kid now. I don't hate the kid. Like, what, I mean, what are you gonna, like, this is why I'm saying this question is so loaded. I'm not saying that everybody secretly hates their children or that everybody secretly, like, won't admit that they hate their children. I'm just saying it's a difficult question to pull on. P-O-L-L. IDR? What is IDR? Does he mean IDC? IDR, if he said it, I don't recall. Why not just say, I don't know, if he said it at the time? But when talking about it before, he said that parents gaslight themselves into enjoying having kids. Okay. Ooh, base. Okay. Ooh, I even unbanned this guy. Okay. You don't even have to like your partner to like your kids. I'm happily married and my daughter is the best part of my life by far, but I have divorced friends that love their kids just as I do. They don't regret the previous one. This is probably, what am I doing in an end circumstance? Based? Okay. But that's fine. I don't think everyone should or should even want to be a parent. I would wager maybe 1/4 of all parents would have had a much better life if they never had kids. Okay, based. Okay. Not sure he said that, but I will flex that I love my wife and we're currently sitting in the backyard with my vegetable garden and watch my 19-year-old son giggle his face off. Oh, 19-month. I was going to say 19. Wait, what? I find it rewarding. Wait, what is that? What if I said people gaslight themselves into liking their kids? What was the argument here? What was the overall conversation? I don't think he ever said most people, but also it's sort of unverifiable with what he was saying today. Very few people should vocalize or would vocalize. I wish I wouldn't have had my kids, but plenty of people are okay vocalizing. I wish I would have had kids. Oh, there you go. See, this guy understood what I said. I'm sure you can be happy with kids, but being a dink. Oh, dual income, no kids is awesome. No kids, dual income, I can sleep in and nap. Me online, me and my GF can travel on an impulse. The world is our discover. Me in reality, inside playing Space Marine 2 and Dark Tide updates all weekend. Based?
Base?
Jesus. 10 to 20% of men have admitted that they hate their kids. Oh my God. That doesn't seem that high. I think men would disproportionately regret having kids in modern times because they have little choice aside from wearing a condom and abstinence. Don't you have all the choice? I mean, you can't have an abortion, but like, Jesus, that's a way to phrase that. Oh my God. My younger sister is more traditional than me and pretty much got married, so Jesus wouldn't cry when she had sex. Damn. Based. Unfortunately, parents already know this, and the dink antinatalist crowd doesn't want to hear it because in their head, kids are just a ball and chain to them. It's part of the trend towards hedonism and self-centeredness that's gained a lot of popularity and will ultimately lead to a very unfulfilled older life for a lot of people, sadly. I'm sad. Rip, we're all crying right now. Goal of marriage and family usually gives you really good reasons to break those patterns. I'm going to put this out there, someone says before giving the bravest take ever. Destiny is very bright and politically informed, rhetorically skilled thinker. When it comes to debating policy and even some broader ethical questions, I really find his views persuasive. When it comes to anything involving personal life, particularly relationship advice or having a family, absolutely not. I like how me saying that I think it is very difficult to have kids today because I think there's a ton of other stuff that competes for our attention and people just aren't as interested in it is something that is like empirically verifiably proven literally across the entire planet, but somehow that's a controversial take. But okay. All right, base. All right, it's a good honeypot thread. All right, we're getting the weeds out of the garden. Having kids is the best, worst job you'll ever have. You have to help them for a long time. There are different circumstances to change your enjoyment of them. I love my kids, but some people aren't willing to take care of another person. I think the point is that having kids is held up as this pinnacle. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that was a good It's a good harvest, I think. Can you go back to exactly what you said regarding having kids? It sounded like some version of people were sold on having kids, and once they began to think about it and women got birth control, the value proposition being asked was exposed. No, what I said was that children were a natural thing that happened as a result of our sex drives and as a result of women having nothing else to do in life, basically, right? They didn't really work, and they didn't have access to recreational sex because they had no birth control. Women have jobs now, and women have access to birth control. So now women can choose not to have children. Now, I think that we have some things that work out in life naturally because of like baser biological impulses, but we assume that the biological impulse is tied to some effect of those baser instincts way, way, way down the line. For example, we do not have a biological drive to eat healthy food. We just have a biological drive to consume stuff. And that drive, actually, sometimes we consume stuff that's not even good for us. That's why you give people unlimited food. They can be not healthy, right? Now, imagine if the way to combat foodstuffs and people being overweight, imagine if that way to combat it was just telling everybody, like, listen, guys, ignore society, just eat what you like and just eat, like, trust me, it'll be so much more fulfilling. You just have to eat stuff and just follow your belly. And it's like, no, it's like, hold on, we have to do some severe changes because left to people's own devices in a society where we're producing food that is, like ultra processed and shit, like people are getting fat as fuck. I think that when it comes to having babies, people think that there is this strong, massive drive to have children. And it's this huge thing that will make you automatically feel like so fulfilled and so amazing and so awesome. And that's just like the default assumption. But it seems to be the case that in industrialized countries where people have other things that they can do in life and where life doesn't naturally and organically just lead you to having kids, people are making other choices. And I think that people are approaching this from the perspective of, oh, no. Trust me, people really want this. We just have to like remove the roadblocks. But it's probably more that people were choosing it naturally before because of roadblocks. So people are like, oh no, it's just because kids don't have enough money these days and they can't get married early enough and we just need to like make some child tax credit available. And it's like, probably not. But I'm pretty sure since World War II, probably even earlier, tons of societies have tried to incentivize childbearing and it just doesn't seem to happen. It feels like once you unlock some set of like rights or whatever for women that they make other choices otherwise and there's too much in life competing for family creation, so it's not happening. So that's like some fundamental thing that needs to be addressed because it's not going to get fixed otherwise. If you think that the falling birth rates are a huge problem, that's my argument. I didn't say having kids sucks. I'm just saying that it's not like this glorious, wonderful thing that everybody is automatically drawn to and would love and would do everything. If they just knew all the facts about it, it seems like it's probably a little bit more. You need a little bit more of a push than that. That's all I said. Okay.